Good morning, my name is Byron Drew from Metro Weather, and this is this morning's weather brief on Thursday, the 3rd of January. In today's brief, I'll discuss a summarized look at your medium-term forecast, followed by a more detailed forecast across the UK and Europe over the next 15 days. After that, I'll discuss your renewables forecast, followed by Scandinavian precipitation, and finally, global weather alerts. Starting with your 32-day forecast from ECMWF, it is clear that the longer range model, represented by the horizontal red line, indicates a considerable cooling trend throughout January, with temperatures expected to drop below climate average for the second half of the month in the UK. This general cooling trend towards below average temperatures for the second half of the month is also well illustrated in both Germany and France, and in fact most parts of Central and Western Europe are likely to trend below climate normal for the second half of January. Now for a more detailed look at your temperature forecast across the UK and Western Europe over the next 15 days, starting between days 11 and 15, during which time temperatures across most parts of Western Europe and the UK are likely to trend very near to climate average. The GFS ensemble model, however, displays temperatures potentially trending just slightly below climate normal. However, overall, the ECMWF ensemble model is preferred through the period due to improved recent skill scores as well as support from the Metro model. Agreement between the models is, however, good between days 11 and 15 in the UK, with signal for temperatures to gradually cool throughout the period, cooling towards near average by about the 14th and the 15th of January, and potentially even dropping slightly below climate normal at times. With the GFS deterministic model displaying emerging signal for the potential of temperatures significantly below normal, although at present this is considered a secondary probability and the milder conditions are favored. Model agreement is equally good in both Germany and France, with both countries also displaying the lower probability scenario of the cooler GFS deterministic. Between days 6 and 10, temperatures in most parts of Western Europe and the UK will once again trend near to or above climate normal, with a strong signal for a general cooling trend through the period once again evident in both the UK and most of Western Europe. There is, however, considerable model divergence in many parts of far Western Europe, including France, with signal within the GFS ensemble model for temperatures to be considerably warmer than those signaled by the ECMWF ensemble model. At present, however, the EC ensemble model is favored due to recent performance and support from the Metro multi-model. And finally, over the next 2 to 5 days, temperatures will trend above normal to well above normal across most parts of Western Europe and the UK, with temperatures expected to peak in many areas today or tomorrow. These above average temperatures are likely the result of high pressure building across most parts of Western Europe and the UK, resulting in a warm southwesterly airflow into many areas. And now for a look at your renewables forecast, starting with your wind power generation percentage graph for Benelux, where, after a moderate spike in generation percentage today, winds are expected to ease into the start of the weekend and for next week in particular. This signal for easing winds is also well illustrated by the Hamburg wind threshold probability graph, with a relatively high, between 20 and 40%, probability of winds exceeding 25 km per hour today and tomorrow, after which we see the probability of near calm conditions, as indicated by the red line, increasing into the start of next week. Meanwhile, over the next week or so, there is a relatively high probability of near calm conditions in the far northwestern portions of France. And now for Scandinavian precipitation, where over the next 7 or 8 days, precipitation totals in most far northern and northwestern parts are likely to trend near to or above normal, while in far southern parts, precipitation totals below climate average are expected. And now for global weather alerts, starting with the US temperature anomaly forecast over the next 7 or 8 days, during which time most parts of the United States are expected to see temperatures trending below normal to well below normal for this time of year, although some far northern parts will see temperatures above climate average, and in Florida, temperatures will trend near to or potentially just slightly above normal. And in Brazil, precipitation totals in many far southern areas are likely to trend near to or slightly above normal, while many other parts are likely to see precipitation totals nearer to or below normal for this time of year. And in East Asia, the cool weather is likely to persist, with temperatures trending below normal to well below normal across most parts of eastern China as well as Korea and Japan, with far northeastern parts of China expected to see temperatures most significantly below climate average. And finally, an update on tropical cyclone Dumile that is currently expected to continue heading south or southeastwards, turning away from Madagascar over the weekend. And that's all for today's weather brief. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.